Well, that's it. The victory of the people over the political class. This battle for Brexit that we've seen go on and on and on, even since 17.4 million people voted for Brexit, voted leave in 2016. We saw some of those in Westminster, the Westminster establishment, try and water down and kill off Brexit completely.
Perhaps I and my Spartan friends should now lower our spears too, but perhaps keep them to hand just in case one day someone, perhaps the leader of the opposition, should try and take us back in. My colleagues in the European Research Group have fought long and hard for this day, and we have sometimes been lampooned or even vilified by the Remain-dominated electronic media for our trouble, when all we have ever wanted is one thing: to live in a free country that elects its own government and makes its own laws here in Parliament and then lives under them in peace.
But today, with a majority of 448 in the House of Commons, MPs have voted for the deal agreed between Boris Johnson and the EU. Going to bring you all the very latest, guys, but please start off as ever by making sure you've hit the subscribe button and the bell. And I know that some of you in the comments would have preferred a no deal, a clean break. There'll be some disappointment with aspects of this deal. It is far from perfect. But reflect on the bigger picture of this sentiment today from Nigel Farage, a man who really has fought and campaigned for Brexit longer than pretty much anybody. Nigel tweeting today, "The Commons votes by a huge majority for Brexit. Despite the flaws, what a sense of relief." And for Brexiteers out there, this is your victory. That the establishment time and time again tried to overturn, tried to thwart. This is a victory for the people today as Parliament backs Brexit.
Our Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, has achieved what all those years ago I was told was impossible. I refused to believe them. So did the Maastricht rebels, and last year the 28 Tory Spartans, which opened the way to where we are today. We have now won back our sovereignty, despite those European pieces of paper. We owe our Prime Minister, the country owes him, our deepest congratulations on his achievement.
Looking at the specific breakdown of the votes, 521 MPs voting for the deal versus 73 against. That included 359 Conservative MPs and 162 Labour. Against was just one Labour MP in the end, Bell Ribeiro Adi, along with 11 Lib Dems voting against, 3 Plaid Cymru and 44 SNP. As Sebastian Payne of the FD reports, 36 Labour MPs abstained on the Brexit deal. Not a single Conservative MP voted against it, and only Owen Paterson and John Redwood, 2 Brexiteer MPs, abstained. When it comes to Owen Paterson's explanation for that,
but it's a great honour to be called in this incredibly important debate. As you know, I've been involved in over the years for a long time, and this is a great day. We have established sovereignty, as my honourable friend the member for Stone has confirmed, and one should pay a tribute to him for the extraordinary manner in which he has fought this battle over the years. His indefatigable and concentration and legal knowledge has been phenomenal. And it's great to have sovereignty, and it's great to have zero tariffs and zero quotas, which is very good for my constituency and very good for the economy of GB. And I would like to order just a word of caution. I'm very pleased with this deal for GB, but I'm concerned that we have partnership councils, specialised committees, trade specialised committees, working groups. We're going to need a really determined government to make sure that we use that sovereignty properly and we really exploit it. Nowhere more than the issue of fish, where I went round the North Atlantic in 2004, 2005 and wrote a paper on how we should run a sane fisheries policy. And it will take real political determination to get fish back in 5.5 years' time, when you think that, for instance, in the Channel, we're only going down on cod from 90.75 from 91. And we should be getting they should be on 25%. That's according to zonal attachment. So we'll need real determination. And then another area which does concern me, I'm chairman of the think tank, the Centre for Brexit Policy, see the Registered Members' Interests, and we put out a scorecard. And GB, according to the legal gurus led by the member Stone, GB counts it well. The worry for me, as someone who's shadow secretary in Northern Ireland for 3 years, the real secretary for 2 years, is that Northern Ireland fails. And we should remember the words of the noble Lord Trimble, who I spoke to a couple of days ago. He reminds us that Clause 1, Para 3 of the Belfast Agreement says it would be wrong to make any change in the status of Northern Ireland, save with the consent of a majority of its people. And I will fight very hard. I'd love to vote for this today, but I really can't vote for a measure which actually divides the United Kingdom, has a different regime on tax, as part of the customs union, they'll be under the ECJ, single market, etc. So tonight, I'm very torn. I wish this well. I hope we can go to mutual enforcement, which is Lord Trimble's recommendation, and I will be abstaining.
Owen Paterson says, as a result, he would abstain, one of 2 Tory abstentions along with John Redwood. And just to remind you what the ERG feedback on this deal was. Their conclusion, overall, was that the agreement does preserve the UK sovereignty as a matter of law and fully respects the norms of international sovereign-to-sovereign treaties. They say that the level playing field clauses go further than in comparable trade agreements, but their impact on the practical exercise of sovereignty is likely to be limited if addressed by a robust government. And it also notes that the agreement can be terminated with 12 months' notice. So ultimately, here's the thing. Brexit freedom comes down to the effectiveness of the British government. It relies on them being robust. It relies on them being radical. And we also do have the ability with 12 months' notice to terminate this agreement. That is very important as well. What this is ultimately down to now is the British government maximising Brexit competitive advantage, maximising the opportunities of being an independent, self-governing nation. And ultimately, there would be no more excuses on issues like immigration, where they used to be able to shift the blame to the EU's policies on things like open borders. That excuse has gone now. The British government and British politicians in Westminster will be more accountable because they will be in control of the decisions. No more excuses. We're now an independent, self-governing country once again. And I'm optimistic. I see us doing global trade deals. I see us having that Brexit competitive advantage of being able to do things that others in the EU are restricted by. But ultimately, it comes to elections now. There's no more passing the buck. It's down to what the British government make of it, of taking that Brexit opportunity. Let me know what you make of all of this, guys, on this historic day as Parliament backs Brexit with a majority of 448 in favour of the deal agreed. Let me know in the comments what you're making of all this, guys. And of course, as ever, please give this video a big thumbs up. Would really appreciate that. And you can support my work by hitting the join button down below. See the link in the top pinned comment. And as ever, guys, thanks for watching.